When you go to your local community, have you seen or have you talked to locals about specific issues of people having problem gambling issues?
Oh, very definitely. There's no two ways about that. I've seen it. I've had an Aboriginal elder with some of his older friends break down because of the way in which he says, we've lost our young men. They get addicted to these machines. There's an ATM just nearby. And then he broke down and he said, can't you just take the ATMs away for those young men who have got an addiction problem but are struggling to do the right thing? Help them. Don't hinder them. That comes straight from a rural town to the west of where I live, population 4,500. But the other problem that's being missed here is that somebody needs to do some really high quality research and have a look at how much money flows into communities and how much goes back out to the investors in gambling and in pubs and clubs who are not in the bush. Of course, the bush pubs and clubs have a great role to play, but we need to be really careful with the gaming side of it. They're all running nice ads at the moment, pointing to the fact that they support local sporting clubs and so forth. But where are the real cash flows? What really comes into the community? What leaves the community? And we also know that the number of jobs created by, you spend $1 million on pokie machines, you create about 3 jobs. Spend it on hospitality, you get about 20 jobs. This is not as attractive as it looks. And I would urge those people in the party that I belong to, that I'm a life member of, have a long, hard look at the social and the economic facts around this.
Yeah, you are an elder of the National Party. I'm not meaning that in an insulting way, John. Have you picked the phone up to Paul Toole and asked him why he wants to treat the bush differently?
Well, I don't know that he does. I only hear the media reports. So the answer is no, I haven't.
Well, let's hope they listen. It's very good advice. Can I just quickly ask you about this speculation put on the table by Michael Kroger from Victoria that perhaps Tony Abbott would be a good replacement for Jim Molan in the Senate? What do you make of that idea?
I think the only thing, I'd say 2 things. The first is that it's a matter for Tony and for the Liberal Party. The second thing I'd say is that Tony is a very clear and powerful thinker, and in some way we need to make certain that his ability to put a view and to prosecute a case is not lost to Australia at a time when the debate is frankly pretty narrow and often very inadequate.
And just finally, what's your view on the Voice referendum, John?
I'm increasingly concerned. I'm well known as somebody who's been prepared to think about some constitutional recognition, but I'm afraid I've been on something of a journey here where I've come to the view that philosophically I have a real problem with the idea that you would differentiate between Australians in the Constitution. The other problem with it is that I think it's just insulting that we're not being told precisely what it is. Why not pick up Peter Dutton's idea, legislate, let us then have a debate